Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black female engineer. I provide y'all with some tech, career, life content. And if you saw my catch up video posted not too long ago, you know that I have switched teams. If you didn't know that, I suggest you run it back a little bit, go back over there, catch up with me. I really just let you in on what has been going on with me for the last few months. But I have changed teams, and so let's talk about it. So I previously worked for DreamWorks. I was a software engineer under their production engineering team. Under that team, I worked primarily with Python and JavaScript, a lot of full stack development and all the works. Now, however, I am a developer on an Xfinity team. Both of these teams under Comcast, the company I work for, who, writes my paychecks. But yes, that's why I say different team. That's why I'm not saying I changed jobs. But yes, I moved over to the Xfinity side of things, where my team focuses mostly on mobile development. Now, for those who don't know, Xfinity is part of the Comcast umbrella, and they primarily focus on consumer cable, internet, and streaming services. So I, like mentioned, am on the streaming side. And it's been fun. It's just so early to tell kind of what the next few months hold for me. But no, I've really enjoyed it so far. Part of what Xfinity does is provide video content to you all. And so with me being on the mobile side of that, I get to be a part of a team that is very much focused on how to deliver content, movies, shows, and whatnot in just a enjoyable manner. And so my team works a ton with UI and UX designers, developers, etc. So what's UI and UX? UI stands for user interface and UX stands for user experience. And so those designers, for any of y'all who are thinking about doing that, those designers put together what their dream experience would be for the user. They come together and they create drawings, which turn into mock-ups, which turn into prototypes, and they really just get all of that together so that they can go to the engineering team and say, look, make this. And engineers and designers and managers go back and forth, trying to get to that beautiful end product. A lot of iteration happens, lots, like I just said, back and forth, and just edits happen a ton. It's not just the designers make their designs and then peace out and go to a next project. It's weeks, months, years of just that continuous feedback. So I get to be a part of the people who turns the designers' designs to life. It's really exciting because I get to see thoughts and ideas and illustrations and concepts before anyone else can. And that's really exciting, especially because what we're building here, the goal is for it to get to you all someday. So it's been really exciting, that part of things. I started here about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And since then I've been on the same project. I don't believe this project has been announced to the world because I'm pretty sure it's quite new to the team, and so I'm not going to divulge too much information. For those who don't know, Comcast, because they also own NBC Universal, they own Peacock. Peacock is like Netflix and Hulu, a place for people to stream and view shows and whatnot. And so think of the app I'm working on, basically another app to deliver content to y'all. Also movies, also TV shows and whatnot, just maybe in a different manner. And so just like think of that being my main project while I continue on talking about what I do day by day and what tech I use and all that, because we're about to get into all of that part. So first, let's go into what my day-to-day looks like. My day-to-day doesn't look too different than my day at DreamWorks. And if you watch my day in the life from DreamWorks, you know that in the mornings I had my stand-up. A stand-up is basically a meeting where the team comes together and says what they've been working on, what they worked on yesterday, what they plan to get done today, and call it a day. It's typically like 15 minutes. And so I start the day with my daily stand-up and then kind of continue on the day with maybe some pop-up meetings here and there but by the afternoon, it's all coding and development and debugging. And that's quite typical for an entry-level developer like myself, because like, why do I have to be in all these meetings? I'm not making decisions. I'm simply putting together what you told me to do, which I love doing. To be honest, that's a conversation maybe for another day, but to be honest, I like the spot of just simply development. It's why I wanted to become a software engineer. I don't need to make the decisions. Just tell me what you want and I'll deliver it for you. I primarily use just Swift UI throughout my day. I use Swift UI because, as mentioned, I work so closely with designers. And so the things I'm building out, they're not, I did say that they will one day be seen by you guys, and they will, at least that's the hope. However, my role isn't to make them functionable. It's simply to put together these mock-ups and prototypes in a way that now when you go onto your phone, you can see how it'll look and feel and function because of the development me and other members of the team have done. However, it can't be put out into the world yet because it hasn't been optimized to handle large audiences. Like, that's not our job. So yeah, Swift UI is really where I live right now. I didn't know any Swift UI before starting on this team a few weeks ago. And so if anyone is looking to learn more about it, I'll add a link. Like, I was gonna say some links, but I think I really only used like one true tutorial in getting acquainted with the technology, with the framework and all that. And I really liked it. So if anyone is looking to learn Swift UI or go into UI UX, I'm gonna add the link to the tutorial below. And this role definitely is phenomenal for anyone looking to be in UI UX, to be specifically like a UX engineer or a front-end developer, or also go into mobile development. This role is phenomenal. If you're all three, this role is the one for you. And so ways you can prepare for a role like this one, first off, really kind of what I recommend most of the time for anything, not anything, but most things, is starting off with HTML and CSS, just the bare bones of putting content together and styling it. After HTML and CSS, learn either Python or JavaScript. It's important because knowing basic functions and concepts taught with Python and JavaScript are very necessary. Things like if statements, for loops, ternary operators, things like that. They're very necessary because in Swift UI, when you want something to work only for X amount of components or elements, or you want it to iterate over X amount of things, you want to make sure you're understanding the concept behind what you're doing. So I guess you can say right now while I'm on this team, I work mostly as a UX engineer / front-end developer. Really, there's no back-end. No back-end, because again, we're not trying to make it available to the masses right now. And so it's very different from my job at DreamWorks, because at DreamWorks, I helped put together the authentication and security measures and just making it available and workable and functionable for larger audiences and people to use at the same time and all that. So it's very, very different. And because of that, there's also such a need for attention to detail. Attention to detail is of utmost importance here because we're mostly focused on the visual. It's like, okay, what are the users going to see? How are they going to react to it? And so I was actually working on a project just now where we got a lot of feedback when we sent it out to other managers and designers. And some of the feedback is, hey, this indent doesn't match that indent. Because it's important. You need to make sure you are keeping that super close eye. I actually think, shoot, did I send that up? I actually think I realized I forgot to do that. I will do it tomorrow. If my boss is watching this. But no, there were so many other tickets I had to work on. Like I will get there. I promise I'll get to it. But no, so like making sure you're really, really looking at those things. And that's kind of what I like about the visual parts of development. Like UI UX, if I wasn't a software engineer, I would have probably gone the UI UX route. I previously thought cybersecurity till I found out what it really was, and I was like, nah. I think I would have gone UI UX, especially because there's such a focus right now on accessibility and making sure that apps and products and tools are widely accessible for other members of society that may not have the same abilities as other members of society. Actually, speaking of tickets I've been working on, one of them was making sure to add haptics on the different button clicks. So if you don't know what haptics are, I didn't know what haptics were either, so like let me define it for y'all. A haptic is basically, you know, when you, okay, I think this is a good example, but I'm not positive. You know, when you're scrolling on something and then you, like, let's say you like an image or you want to add it to like your favorites. I think Instagram has this, but now I'm not sure. When you double click on Instagram, if you feel your phone like pulsate real quick, not like a vibrate, nothing crazy, but just like a quick soft like pulsation to acknowledge that an action was done, that's a haptic. And it's really great for accessibility members, because if you can't see clearly that a heart was added or a check mark was done to acknowledge that something was added to your favorites bar, that feeling, that like quick like pulsating feeling will make it clear to you that, okay, my action was successful. And so that actually literally is a thing I just learned how to add yesterday onto different buttons and icons, and it's something I completed today, and I sent the ticket up, and so that was really exciting and fun for me. Yeah, you can see me gleaming. It was actually really cool, because I have a very deep interest for accessibility measures and making sure that apps and products are more widely acceptable. And so being able to be part of like that, and not even be part of it, but do it and accomplish it, was extremely exciting for me. Let me know in the comments what questions you have, because I'd love to keep talking about this topic, what I do, and really just go in the nitty gritty of what, being a developer looks like, and just answer y'all's questions and just chat. And so let me know. I really do enjoy my team. I really love my manager, my coworkers, and everyone's been very kind, especially, I'm new on the team, so I really am like, please be patient with me, guys. And what's funny is typically it's like, no, Naya, we're patient with you. You need to be patient with yourself. And so that's been really a good experience. So let me know in the comments below what questions you have, what thoughts you have, what comments. Like, let's just chat. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll be sure to give y'all an update in maybe a couple months on how everything's going and what projects I'm working on now. So thanks y'all.